Hi there, this is Jacqueline with Nickel and Dime Decor, and this is part 2 of the Tumbler Chevron Quilt pattern block. And I have got my rows all put together. They're not sewn vertically, but they're sewn horizontally. And I'm real pleased with the layout of it, but I still got to rearrange. But you know, it's so hard to get all those blocks scattered everywhere. It takes time, and I have to crawl down on my floor. So I'm out of breath. But just to review real quick, here's our tumbler. Ordered all of this, the pattern and this, from Missouri Star Quilt Company. And I'm making mine as a baby quilt, and I'm doing 8 tumblers across and 10 rows down. And it's a good size because you have 4.5-inch borders. So it's going to be a good size. They used 12 tumblers, but I'm using 8 to go across. So I appreciate you joining me today, and we will now look at the quilt on the floor. God bless. Well, guys, this is my, my design wall is my floor. So here it is, all laid out. I don't like those 2 blacks up there on the top 2 rows by each other, so I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm out of breath because I've been on the floor trying to rearrange, and I just can't quite get it right. I can't flip them and turn them over because then the writing in my black won't be right. So I have to move them. So anyway, I'll fix that. But I wanted you to see how it's going to be. The bottom 2 rows are sewed together, but the rest of it's not sewed together vertically with the big rows together. But I put the tape measure down so that you can see. It measures 34 inches across, and those last 2 rows are already trimmed. The rest of the rows are not trimmed, but I'm not going to trim them until after I've sewed them on. I wished I hadn't cut the other 2. I mean, it's okay, but I'm going to wait. And so you'll see where I've got my pins, because it's the only way that you can really tell how straight you're getting it is to visually pin a large bottom to a small top. And so I folded the fabric and put a pin in it, and then fold the one it's going to be sewed to and put a pin in the middle, and then line them up. And I will do that about 3 or 4 across. It's the only way that you're going to get them really lined up, since your ends don't meet. So that's the only way I know to do it. So it's going to end up, after you put a 4.5-inch border, which I am debating. I think the large floral would be really pretty as a border, but it might be a little overwhelming. I don't know. Yeah, I would appreciate your votes, and you tell me what you would like for a border. It can be any one of these prints. I don't want the black, I don't think. I'd rather have just some of the taupes or some of the florals. So after you put a 4.5-inch border, it's going to end up about 42 inches wide. And then after they're sewn together, it's going to be about 45.5 inches long. And then your 4.5-inch border on the top and the bottom. So it's going to be about 52 52 by 42 or 53 by 40. Anyway, it's going to be a good size. I think it's perfect. And remember, the pattern had 12 tumblers across, and I only put 8. But with the 4.5-inch borders, I just felt like that was more than sufficient for a baby quilt. For a lap quilt, it is more than sufficient. So, but if you want to make it like the pattern it ends up 49 by 71. But I sure didn't want it that long. So, you use your own judgment and do whatever you want. It's your quilt. I like the way the tumblers are sewn together after I finally figured out to get them as even as possible with very little sticking out on both ends. And that was the key to really getting it straight across and even. So I'm gonna be ready for my borders, so you need to reply real quick because I'm going to go get it if it ever quits raining. We've had rain now for 14 days. And when I mean rain, it's from 3 to 6 inches a day. It is just the floodgates have been opened in the panhandle of Texas. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it so much. If you haven't subscribed, that would be a good deal. If you haven't pushed the notification bell at the bottom, that lets you know whenever I have a new video. No other obligation except you'll just be notified. Thank you so much. God bless. Have a wonderful day.